Hi everyone. Welcome to Human Design for Innovators and Entrepreneurs. Now, this is a really cutting edge course on human design. It's cutting edge in two ways. One, we're looking at it from a different perspective, and we're looking at it very particularly about how you can learn how human design works and then apply it in really practical life. And secondly, it's designed specifically with people who have the innovative spirit and the entrepreneurial urge in their lives. People who really want to make the world a better place, people who really want to make a difference. And we've designed this course so that you really learn what you're looking at when you look at a human design chart. We're going to deconstruct the whole thing, literally like taking a car, an old car, and taking it apart piece by piece by piece, and putting all the pieces out there, then cleaning them, getting them to the point where they're immaculate and they're working well, and then putting the whole thing back together again. Now, this isn't a teaching course for people who want to be academics in human design, not at all. But it will give you a really in-depth practical understanding of how the human design chart was put together, how it's designed, how it works, what all the pieces of it do, so that you know what you're looking at when you're looking at a chart of yourself, your partner, your team, your friends, a client, whatever. And then we're going to make it extremely practical, the application, because this is for people who want to make a difference. People who are really ready to get out on the cutting edge and start building whole new ways of doing things. We are now going through a profound change from the way things were to something that is totally new, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in dealing with all aspects of human life, our health, where we live, how we relate to each other as cultures, how we, take people with completely different belief systems to completely different ways of looking at the world and get along and work together and create communities. This is a time in history with unprecedented change, and not just to make the world a better place, but the world is becoming new. I mean, it's a different world than the world that I grew up in, and for many of you. And we're in a sense, the harbingers, we're the people who are going to, in a sense, establish the framework, or at least the basic underlying principles and the basic vision. We're going to establish the character in ourselves and the vision and the vitality and the vibrance to really make this real in the practical world. So it works for all those people who say all this woo-woo stuff, or whatever it is all this new stuff, it's just, it's a threat. No, it isn't. If it's done with integrity, if it's done with substance, if it's real, then it's going to make a real difference in people's lives. And human design is one of the greatest tools I have come across for really making this difference. And it's not for everybody, but enough people are going to shift the way they make decisions so that they're coming from their authority. And then they're going to build a world that works for them, and it works for the people in their lives. And this is the people this course is designed for. The early adopters, the ones on the cutting edge, the pioneers, whatever you want to call it. And this process is well underway now, and it needs really practical application. So in this course, we have 28 videos. We're going to use those videos. They're 20 minutes to 50 minutes each. 16 hours worth of really in-depth looking at human design, But the course is designed so that there is a ton of time for you to practically apply what you learn. So we're not just teaching theory. We want you to go out and verify it in your life, test it against what's happening in your life. And to do that, these 28 videos are going to be spread out over a significant period of time. It'll be a little flexible because we know each one of you is different. But we want people to take 3 to 6 months to go through this. And do each video, maybe 1 or 2, and then have, between each video, enough time, 4 days to a week, to really take it in and just look at their world and see through their own experience how this operates. At least begin to see whether what we're talking about really has relevance to you in your life, you in your business, you in your relationship. And then at the end of that, after every couple of weeks, every few weeks, we're going to have a webinar where you can then directly connect with me or, and some of the people I work with, and throw your questions at us, give us your feedback, debrief what's going on, see what's working, see what isn't working, and really understand, because your mind is going to go, oh, what are they going on about? This could never work. I'm supposed to run the show. I've been doing it for thousands of years. And you need to see that what's been offered is a better option, one that works more effectively, far less stress, and gives your mind the freedom to be able to go and do the things that it's really designed to do. Leaving what they call in human design, your inner authority, to guide you in making decisions. Now, what this means is there's going to be a significant period of commitment. Like up to 6 months or so, you're going to be working on this. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to have videos non-stop. You're going to have them once in a while. But you're then going to be able to test them in your real life. And in a sense, you'll be more involved with your real life, more focused on your real life, more engaged, more aware of what's going on in your real life than you would if you spent that 6 months just doing whatever you're doing. It's going to add a new dimension of awareness. It's going to add more awareness. It's going to give you something to test your life against. And so it's going to add value, even though it's going to take some time, it's going to add much more value to the living of your life over that period. So it's not like where you're going to university and just shut down and all you do is study and then you have to go out and make it work in the real world. You're going to be learning this and using it in the real world and debriefing it and learning it and using it in the real world and debriefing it. And in the process, so much creative endeavor, so much innovation, so much entrepreneurial stuff can happen for you, even between the group. Now, here's the really key thing. We're going to start this at a particular point when we have a group, the first group of people who sign up for this, who want to commit to this in a sense, and just really understand this. Human design is not therapeutic, it's mechanical, right? It shows you how to stop creating the dramas and the traumas that send you to therapy in a lot of cases, and how to stop the thing that keeps sending you back. Now, I'm not in any way putting down therapy. Therapy definitely has its place. But this gives you a way of avoiding the need for a lot of it, a hell of a lot of it, and actually starting to feel like there's nothing that really needs to be fixed in you. You just need to discover who you are and start living it and move through the world so that you end up where you belong, surrounded by the people you belong with. And that's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen if you give human design the time. Just like growing a tree from a seed or growing a carrot from a seed. a vegetable from a seed. If you give it the time, it will grow naturally, slowly, through experience, being verified, until even your mind agrees this is the better option. Even if it doesn't understand it, it goes, okay, I can relax and go and do what I'm really designed to do. So the first group of people, we're going to have these webinars, and it's going to be interactive between you and me and whoever else I invite, who would add value to it. But mostly, it'll be me or Darryl, my friend who we did this with me, who's really experienced in business. And we're calling this Innovators and Entrepreneurs because that's what Darryl and I are. We're innovators, we're entrepreneurs. So if you get in with the early bird special, in this case, is you get to work really closely with us, as it's evergreen and will run for months, years even. And we're going to improve it and fine tune it. If you're in the initial group, you'll get the upgrades. You'll be involved with all of that. But you'll get to every couple of weeks, focus on, develop your questions, focus on what's really important to you, and then bounce it back and forward, and we'll work with it and debrief it. And so you'll be able to grow through experience over time while understanding how human design is put together. And who knows, we could create new entrepreneurial possibilities. We could develop new ways of really understanding human design, and particularly on how to apply it in real life, in the world of innovation, in the world of entrepreneuring, in the world of relationships, business, all of these things that make up the real structure of our society, which will be redeveloped because the world is becoming new. Okay, so if you're interested in this, if this calls to you, if you're willing to put the time and commitment in, now, it's not going to be a super cheap, inexpensive $27, $47, course. We're not doing it that way. I really appreciate people who don't have the money and would love to do this. And for those people, I've done now hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel. Many of them are to do with human design. There are webinars there, absolutely free. All of it's free. If if you're not at the stage where you can afford this yet, go and work with that stuff because it's great, and really work with the, experience of that. And when you can afford it, either have a consultation or get one of the other products we do and just work into it in a way that's correct for you. This is human design takes the struggle out of life. That's what it's really done for me. No more pushing, trying to make things happen. It's very much like being able to allow things to happen, to have life and you work together as partners. Have your nature, respected for what it's really capable of doing. And at the same time, use your greatest weakness and turn it into one of your greatest assets, your ability to allow things, to receive things, to draw things to you. And then you decide if it's right for you in terms of timing, even if it suits your nature, and whether this would be a good thing for you and the other person to get involved with. So if you're interested in this, if you're willing to commit, if you'd like to be part of the initial group, those that really, pioneer, get out there, cutting edge, really innovate, and you want to see how this applies to your life. Now, again, this is not only for people who are struggling and having problems. If you're ready for that and you're ready to get out of that slowly and naturally in your own time, in your own way, if you've got the willingness to do that, by all means come on board. But it's also for the cutting edge people who are doing great, because this is something they can bring in that will not only help them, and will not only help you, but will help so many of your clients, and will help you, in a sense, open up new horizons and new ways of doing things even more elegantly, or even confirm the work that you're doing and enable you to in a sense, presented in a way that truly brings out the elegance of life, how much life just, wants to love us, and how much our mind truly desires to be free of the burden of running our lives. I mean, the mind is a wonderful thing, but it's got a lot better, it's got work that it's designed to do now. And we have a part of us called, in human design, our inner authority, our strategy and our inner authority, that will give the power back to the body to be the authority in the world where it's meant, where it's designed to be in, where it lives. So that, just like they say in the Bible, you're giving to Caesar what is Caesar's. You are in the world living, and your body's in the world, and it's living in the world as a part of the world. It's not disconnected, it's integrated, and it's a part of it, and it's playing a great part, and the whole of life is celebrating and supporting you in doing that, rather than this disconnect we have in the struggle because the mind sees the world as a virtual reality. Right? And the mind then is free to soar, to imagine, to dream, to vision, to share, to measure, to observe, to share its experience, the unique perspective that we have with the other people in our lives. And it can open new doorways, new possibilities, because it's free of the burden of having to stress out about how to make your life work, whereas the body's designed to do that. Your inner awareness, what they call your inner authority. This gives the authority back to you. It gives the authority back to your employees or your work partners. It gives the authority back to your partner. It gives the authority back to your clients. And when you understand that, how it's put together, why it's so powerful, and then through your own experience see how useful it is, what it's going to do is take not just you to a new level, but take everything that you do and refine it and take it into a new world. Evolve it, fill it with greater awareness. I don't mean refine it like sugar. I mean, strip it away. It's like make it more elegant, add value. Open up new ways of seeing things, new ways of relating, new ways of being with each other that add extraordinary value, reduce so much stress, and really, give your mind freedom and your body a life to live that it's just able to truly enjoy. It's the only word you can use for it. Your body can enjoy being alive, and your mind can enjoy bringing awareness to that, and just sitting back and enjoying the experience. This is a beautiful way of marrying body and mind together with consciousness. So if you're up for that, if that appeals to you, if that rings your bells in any way, check out the landing page here, read what it says, do what it says. It will be an honor to work with you, whether you're digging yourself out of a issue or some problem in your life or a lifestyle that doesn't work for you, if you're out there making a major difference in the world. Whatever, you're still a human being, whichever place you're in. There's no greater value than that. You cannot add any more value to that. So I value you. Again, don't see it as therapy, because this isn't therapy. This is mechanics. This is the way the world works. This is just like a car fine-tuning everything about you, so everything's in the right place. The pressure and the energy is coming, the pressure's being put on the right places, and the energy's coming from the right places, and then you can just hum. You can flow through this life and enjoy the incredible gift that life is, adding value to your life, adding value to other people's life in a way that's both it's challenging and you'll grow, but it's also elegant, effortless. There's times where you make effort, of course, but there's this sense of stress going, just wow. And life is magic. I mean, you really start to experience the magic of life and how life has, more for you than you could ever plan for yourself if you'll just let it work with you. Okay, so if you're up for that, do what's on the page, and I'll look forward. It will be my honour to work with you in this amazing course one, and there's a course two already planned and in the works, of human design for innovators and entrepreneurs. I look forward to working with you soon.